I went to Meow in 2018 thinking it was just gonna be another art exhibit. Like cool, colorful rooms, weird sculptures, something you walk through once and then you leave. And for a second, it kind of is that. You walk in, it looks boring, almost normal, like you're in someone's house. Nothing feels off yet, and then you notice something. Not big nor dramatic, just something wrong. A detail that doesn't make sense. A space that feels like it shouldn't be there. And you follow it. Because, of course you do. And then you find it. A door that isn't really a door. A fridge that leads somewhere else it shouldn't. A space that folds in on itself. And the second you step into it, the entire thing breaks open. You're not in a house anymore. You're somewhere else. Rooms don't connect right. Spaces loop back in on themselves. Nothing explains itself, really. Nothing needs to. And the weird part is, it works. You don't need to question it. You just keep going. Keep opening things. Keep exploring Meow. You try to piece together a story that no one is actually telling you. And it feels new. It's like you're not just looking at art. You're inside of it. And for a while, I just thought that was Meow. Something weird. Something original. Something that only worked because of the way they built it. And then I saw photos of Wake the Tiger, and I had that same feeling again. Not similar, but the same. The exact same. So before I even get into the comparison, I need to explain what Meow actually is. Because if you've never been, it just sounds like this random art thing. It starts normally on purpose. A house. A family. And that's important because it gives you something to hold on to before everything breaks apart. And boy, does it break. And the thing is, it doesn't guide you. There's no voice telling you where to go. You just walk into rooms that feel like completely different worlds. The story is there, but it's not handed to you. And either you piece it together or you don't. No one checks. That's kind of the point. And structurally, it's built around that idea. No map, no order, just curiosity driven. You're wandering through it, and that's why it sticks with you. Because it doesn't feel like something you've consumed, like art does. It feels like something you get lost in. And for a long time, I thought that format was Meow Wolf's. And it was New Mexico, and soon other states' little piece of sanctuary. It created something so specific it couldn't really be repeated without feeling obvious. And then I saw something that followed the exact same rules. Wake the Tiger. And at first, it sounds different. Different countries, different teams, different story. But then you actually look at how it works. You don't just walk into the surreal art space. You start somewhere normal. A fake real estate office. And again, it's subtle. Something's off. Not enough to stop you, but enough to pull you forward. And then it happens. You find the thing you're not supposed to. A tree. And it's not just a tree, it's a portal. You go through it, and just like that, the entire space is broken open. You're not in a building anymore. You're in another world. Multiple worlds. 27 different environments, all stitched together into something that doesn't follow normal logic. And just like before, no one tells you what to do. You move through it on your own. Backtrack, revisit rooms, miss things and find them later. And the story isn't explained. Just like Meow, it's scattered. There are guilds, messages, fragments of a bigger system you're dropping into without context. You interact with things, soundscapes, rooms, poems, hidden messages. And again, it's not something you finish in one sitting. And that's the part that stuck with me, because it didn't just feel inspired. It felt familiar in a way that's hard to ignore. Not visually, but structurally. Like it was built using the same exact rules. This is where it stops feeling accidental. Because if it was just visuals, you could argue it. Maybe one artist stole from Meow. Maybe 5 artists did, who knows? But it's not that. It's not colorful rooms and weird art in surreal spaces. Because that's not new. That's been around in the UK specifically forever, but we'll get into that in a little. I didn't mention this in the video, but basically the UK has had interactive art experiences
forever. That is like a part of their culture. United States doesn't really have these. I mean, Meow Wolf really is special because of what it is. But in the UK, I wouldn't say it's commonplace, but maybe it is to see these interactive art experiences in specific places like Boomtown. Why would you point out, hey, that interactive art experience that's surrounded by other interactive art experiences, it's copying someone. Its format is copying someone. You wouldn't say that. Meow Wolf might have been inspired by the immersive art experiences of the UK. I wouldn't say they stole them. They did create something new out of it. But it's just, you're trying to accuse the place that you stole from, that they're stealing from you?
But it isn't just that. It's the way you enter. The way the space breaks. It's a normal space, something's wrong, and then you enter a literal portal into another world. There's literally no other words for it besides curiosity driven. That is truly what Meow Wolf is. Except the thing is, that is also exactly what Wake the Tiger is it's fully curiosity driven. Explore freely, go back, miss things, and find them later. At a certain point, you run out of ways to call that a coincidence. Because this isn't just inspired by, it's a shared blueprint. And the reason this matters is because this is the hardest part to separate. When the experience itself follows the same exact logic, that's when it starts to feel like more than just influence. And I'm not the only one who noticed. Because Meow Wolf noticed too. Enough to take it to court. And that's where it stops just being my opinion. Meow Wolf says it's not inspired by. Meow Wolf says it's too similar. They're saying this crosses a line, and on paper you can kind of see why. Because what they built wasn't just an exhibit, it was a format. Something specific enough that when you walk through something else similar enough, you feel it immediately. And from their perspective, that's theirs. It's something they started as a collective, turned into a physical space, scaled up, then expanded into multiple locations. So of course they want to protect it. But then you look at the response. Wake the Tiger isn't backing down at all. They're calling this whole thing unfounded, aggressive. They're framing it like a bigger company is coming after a small collaborative project. Sound familiar? And they leaned hard into where they came from. Boomtown. Underground art. Years of building immersive environments before this even existed as a permanent attraction. Basically saying, we didn't copy anything. And that's where it starts to get messy because both things can be true at once, I guess. Yeah, the structures feel somewhat identical, but also, this kind of immersive, world-based art didn't come out of nowhere. It's been building in different spaces for years. So the question now isn't who copied who, it's can you actually own something like this? Up until this point, it's easy to pick a side. You look at Meow Wolf and you see something original, something they built from nothing, something they scaled into real physical experience. And then you look at Wake the Tiger and it's like, yeah, it's the same. I get why they're mad. That part is simple. What's not simple is what's happening behind the scenes. Because while all of this has been going on, workers inside Meow Wolf have been pushing back. There were strikes planned at the Grapevine location at one of the busiest times of the year, Halloween. Not random timing, intentional. Workers say the company violates labor laws. They say they weren't bargaining in good faith. They say the company was profiting off of them while not respecting their creative rights. Meow Wolf is accused of stealing from multiple artists, not paying them, not giving them their due justice after using their work. And at the same time, layoffs. Dozens of employees across the company, including people at higher levels, being cut as part of restructuring. And even outside of that, you see the tension with the artists themselves, like I was saying earlier. Disagreements about who actually benefits from the work once it becomes popular. None of this means that Meow Wolf is uniquely bad, but it does mean that something has changed. The version of Meow Wolf that we fell in love with was a scrappy collaborative art project. Artists building something weird together. Something that didn't feel corporate. And now it's a company. A big one. One that has to scale, restructure, negotiate, and protect its IP. Because it's a model that makes money. So yeah, I think Wake the Tiger copied Meow Wolf. Not inspired by, copied the structure. The whole experience loop. That's too specific to just happen twice. If you build something that distinct, then see it show up later, yeah, you're gonna feel like it was taken. But at the same time, I don't think Meow gets to act like it's purely about protecting art, because they turned that art into a business. They expanded it and monetized it. They turned it into multiple locations, $50 ticket sales. And along the way, things got messy. And when they say, this is ours, I kind of sit there and I'm like, it is. Or it's something that came out of the broader scene of Santa Fe, New Mexico. And now they're trying to draw a line around it. Wake the Tiger can feel like a copy. And it can also be true that Meow doesn't own the format of what they created. And that's the part that I can't really resolve. Because if Wake the Tiger really did take the format, but built it in a way that respects artists, or keeps the energy more intact, then what can you even do about that? Call it wrong, or call it evolution. I don't know. It just doesn't feel simple anymore. If you made it this far, I want to know where you land on this. Like actually, do you think Wake the Tiger copied Meow? Or do you think it's just what happens when the format gets so big that when people start building their own thing, it looks similar? And more importantly, does it matter if the end result is better, more ethical, or just different? Because I don't think there's a clean answer here, and I want to see what people actually fall on. If you like this kind of video, the overthinking, the comparisons, the analyzing and overanalyzing, you can watch some more of my other videos. I upload once a month. Like the video if it made you think any differently. Dislike it if you didn't like it, you know what I mean? And if you want to see what I post, you can hit the bell notification too. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. Can we please talk about how it's like 80 degrees, 90 degrees, and it's not even April? So yeah, I have my fan running.